So what's up, bosses? Hope everyone's doing fantastic. It's a very hectic time of year for me, which means it must be nearly Christmas, which means it's also almost winter. Only a couple of days away, so I thought I'd throw together my top 5 winter fragrances, so I'm going to be back in just a second. So welcome back, you're watching the Luxury Fragrance Boss channel. My name's Scott, of course I'm the Luxury Fragrance Boss. Thank you so much for joining me for my top 5 winter fragrances. If you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Otherwise, if you're a regular viewer, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. And thank you so much for your support. While you're at it as well, if you are new, might as well hit that notification bell. That way you that way you never miss another one of my videos. So today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 winter fragrances. I picked out 5 absolute killers. I've also got a couple of honourable mentions in there as well, but all of these absolutely incredible fragrances. And we're going to kick off straight away with, I think, one that's perfect for Christmas Day. I did mention this one last year as the perfect Christmas fragrance, and it definitely deserves to be so because this still is the perfect Christmas Day fragrance. This one smells just like Christmas. There's heaps of cinnamon, also nutmeg in there as well. Let's bring up all the notes. So you have to excuse me. I still haven't got my computer fixed because I'm without a car at the moment, so I can't get it in the one that I'm borrowing. I'm borrowing a tiny little Mini from somebody for a couple of months until my new car arrives. I've had to import one from Japan. So in this one, you've got royal cinnamon, cinnamon tree leaves, mandarin, calamus in the top. In the heart notes, you've got nutmeg, pimento berry, white pepper, Bulgarian rose in the heart. And in the base notes, you've got Olibanum, Myrrh, Opoponax, and Styrax. This really is, like I said, this one just smells like Christmas. It's got so much cinnamon and nutmeg are the main notes in this one, which of course is Christmas all over. This one, I've actually not worn this one for a while, actually since I tested it, but every time I think of Christmas, or every time I smell this one, it just makes me think of Christmas. And the first time I think I wore it, I think it was in October time, so not this year, funny enough, actually last year, but this one still sticks in my memory. So that's the first honourable mention, as I said, because it smells just like Christmas. So let's get rid of that one off of there. Now I'm going to go straight in with my number 5, and I'm going to go to a house I don't talk about very often, Arabian Oud, and the one I'm picking out is Tarteel Silver. This one right here. This is a funny story behind this one. If you haven't heard this one, if you haven't heard me talk about this one, I had no idea what this fragrance was after I bought it, because there's absolutely no markings on the bottle at all. If you have a look there. There was no markings on the packaging that it came from or on the box. And then when I looked on the website, on Arabian Oud's website, I bought this one in the boutique. But when I looked on the website, it wasn't available anywhere. So I couldn't find it even on the website. This is one of their hottest selling fragrances. So it's pretty much always sold out. So if you ever do see this one online, definitely pick it up. So let's talk about it. What this one is, this one's got a bit more cinnamon in it as well. But really what this is just a beautiful, absolutely incredible vanilla fragrance. It's so beautiful and creamy. It's got a powderiness to it, but it's just absolutely sublime, and it just sucks you in, and it's just such a comforting fragrance to wear. One that I almost put into this top 5 was actually Winter of '99 from the House of Kerosene, which again is another beautiful one. Another sort of that's another vanilla fragrance that literally just sort of makes you feel like you're wrapped in a beautiful warm blanket, sat by the fire, which I've got my fire effect on again. So yeah, but yeah, I mean that's exactly what Winter of '99 is, and this one does a very, very similar thing. I'm going for this one because this one I do have in my collection. Winter of '99 is the other one that I really do like from Kerosene, and I will add that very, very soon. But I also think it's just a limited edition fragrance as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, with my number 5, I'm going to go for Tarteel Silver from the House of Arabian Oud. So for my number 4 fragrance, I'm going to one of my favourite houses, the House of Clive Christian, and one that I don't talk about that much, and one that doesn't really get talked about in general that much. It is an absolutely incredible fragrance. I don't really go for gourmands because mainly I live in a very, very hot climate, which is hard for me to pick out top 5 winter fragrances really, but I picked out the warmest ones and sort of the most comforting ones that I could find. But yeah, I don't normally talk about gourmands because they can be, because the climate I live in, they can be a little bit suffocating. However, this one I just find absolutely incredible. I'm going for Clive Christian's E. This is their Oriental Gourmande. This one smells like it's an incredible sort of dessert smell. This one smells like caramel, and it's got like molasses. It's got some bourbon vanilla in there. It's just absolutely incredible. If you think of Black Phantom by Killian and take out that coffee note, maybe add a bit more maple syrup in there, that's pretty much what you've got with this one. For me, this one I think is a much more powerful fragrance. Gourmandes tend to be quite soft. Something I did find with Black Phantom, I mean, I'm a big fan of Killian, as many of you know, but with Black Phantom, it's the coffee note that kind of put me off. I'm not a huge fan of coffee and fragrances. I do find the occasional one that I like. I do like Follow from the House of Kerosene as well. But for me, this one just absolutely takes it. As far as gourmand fragrances go, however, I do have one in my top 5, which is a better gourmand than this one, which is in my #1 spot, but I'll be talking about that a little bit later. But yeah, if you're looking for something sort of maple syrup, something desserty smelling, this one's going to make you, it's going to make you smell like a dessert. So one of those perfect sort of dating fragrances as well for this time of year. So in my #3 spot, I'm going to another one of my favorite houses. This house do make some incredible wintry fragrances, which is funny because they do come from a very, very hot climate place. The one I'm going to go for is Widian from the Middle East, and I'm going for Black 2 is the one I'm going to stick in #3. I do have a couple in this top 5 from the house of Widian because they are just an absolute incredible house. I think probably my favorite house that I've discovered over the last year, I'd definitely say. I mean, I got the Black collection around, I think it was New Year's, sometime around New Year's last year. So coming up to a year ago now, where I first discovered them. I also got sent Limited 71 Extreme as well, which blew my mind. But let's talk about this one. Sorry, I've still got some of it on my fingers from where I sprayed it on. I sprayed it on the box earlier to sort of get it clear in my head as to what this one smells like. The note that really sticks out in this one is the plum. I think plum should be used in so many more fragrances than it actually is. It does give an amazing edge to this one. Full notes of this one. In the top, you've got plum and mandarin. In the heart notes, you've got rose, sandalwood, and musk. And in the base notes, you've got vanilla and moss. And this goes together to make such an incredible wintry fragrance. Perfect for autumn and winter, but I mean, it's another one of those ones that's just going to make you feel all nice and warm and smell absolutely incredible. So in #3, we've got Black 2 from the House of Widian. Now, as usual with all of my top 5s, all of these are going to have top performance. They're all going to last. They're all going to have sort of good performance overall, because I mean, that's what I look for when I'm spending this kind of money on fragrances. Obviously, when you're spending sort of $150 upwards, you want something that's going to last. You want something that you're going to have to smell all day. I buy my fragrances for myself, as I'm sure many of you do. I'm not there to sort of try and get compliments from other people. If I do, yeah, it's a nice bonus. But I buy my fragrances because I want to smell nice to myself. So yeah, in #3, we've got Black 2 from the House of Widian. So into the top 2 then. Right, I'm going to go to a house that I've mentioned already a couple of times, which is the House of Kerosene. And my favourite one from the house is this one right here, which is Blackmail. I absolutely love this one. Oh, there we go. So I get it in the light so you can see the label a bit better. This one is just absolutely incredible. For those of you that are big fans of this one right here, oh, about to grab the wrong bottle, the Blue Beast there, and also fans of Maison Margiela's By the Fireplace. This is pretty much a crossover of the pair of them, and it smells absolutely incredible. It's not sort of quite as strong as the Blue Beast. Another fantastic winter fragrance, interlude from the House of Amouage. But for those of you that do find that one a little bit overpowering, not quite sweet enough, Blackmail is definitely where it's at. This is one of my favourite fragrances, just as long lasting, as I said, not quite as powerful as Interlude. If you're looking for something to blow everyone's socks off, no matter where you are, even if you're going for sort of outdoor events and things like that, people will smell you within like at least a 10-yard radius really when you're wearing Interlude. But this one, to me, is just beautiful. It's like I say, it's a perfect crossover of Interlude and By the Fireplace. You've got that sweet sort of nutty, like that chestnut, like you know, chestnuts on a fire kind of thing. You got that mixed with kind of Interlude, and yeah, just a beautiful sort of smoky, sort of nutty fragrance. Definitely a must-have in my collection. So yeah, in #2 we've got Blackmail from the House of Kerosene. So just before we do get into my #1, I've put this one in as an honourable mention as well. The reason it's an honourable mention is because it's not available at the moment. However, I have heard a rumour that it's going to be re-released in the coming year, along with another one of my favourite fragrances, and actually what's going to be #1. But I have had confirmation that that one's being re-released. The one I'm talking about is, of course, one of my absolute favourites, Straight to Heaven Extreme, from the House of Killian. This is just one, I mean, this is in my top fragrances of all time, along with my #1 actually. In fact, it's a three-way tie, so I'm sure you can guess which my #1 is if you do watch the channel regularly. But this one, I have heard rumours that this one is coming back next year, which I think it deserves to, because this one's just a mind-blowing fragrance for me. It's got those dried fruits, it's got the rum, and it's got the vanilla. Let's go over the full notes of this one. You've got dried fruits and rum in the top. Heart notes, you've got patchouli, nutmeg and jasmine. In the base notes, you've got vanilla, cedarwood, white musk, amber and rosewood. But it's really just the vanilla, the dried fruits and the rum that just make this one absolutely mind-blowing. This is one of my wife's favourites as well as mine. But yeah, I just cannot get enough of this one, and I know quite a few of you are big fans of it out there that watch my channel. So yeah, fingers crossed for a re-release, because I definitely want to pick up another bottle of that one. So let's get into my #1. Unfortunately, I don't have a sample of my #1 with me. I do actually own a full bottle of it, in fact. However, that full bottle is still in England, because I did order it when it was very limited edition, and I managed to grab one of the last bottles from Javoy Paris in Javoy London, I guess. The one I'm talking about, of course, as I mentioned, it's my joint #1, is Limited 71 Extreme from the House of Widian. This, I mean, if you're a fan of Liwa, which I do have my sample of here, and this is on my top 5 to buy before I die. Yeah, if you do have Liwa, think of like an Oriental Gourmande version of Liwa, and that is what you have. It's a bit more powdery, a bit more gourmandish. Full notes of this one are: top, you've got the sage note. Heart notes, you've got date, and in the base notes, you've got oud. Doesn't sound like a gourmand, but it's absolutely incredible. Like a beautiful sort of nice powdery one. It's one of those ones that, when I first put it on, as much like Liwa, much like Straight to Heaven Extreme, when I tried them on, I was like in love with them straight away. Limited 71 is being re-released. Widian, I think it was not this week, but it was last week. They put up a post on their Instagram saying, look out for 2020, this one's coming back. So something along those lines anyway. That's not the exact caption they used. I also reposted it as well on my own page, as well as a few other Widian fans, because it is an absolutely insanely good fragrance. I know the last release, I think there was only, I can't remember how many bottles it was. It was something like 850 or 900 bottles. So it's very short amount that were available. If you do get the chance this time around, definitely pick up a bottle. I cannot wait to get mine from my mum and dad. The reason it's in England, as I said, I ordered one of the last ones from Javoy in London, and it was going to cost an absolute fortune to have it shipped over to Cayman. So I thought I'd send it to my parents back in the UK, and I thought I would be seeing them a lot sooner than I have done. So I think it's been over there since around sort of May of this year. So I'm not sure the next time I'm going to see them. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go to London and go and grab it from them in the new year, as well as go and check out the Elmar perfumes, which I cannot wait to, in Harrods as well as the Clive Christian Lounge up there as well. So I mean, that's my top 5. Limited 71 Extreme definitely deserve to be #1, and let's hope for a big comeback as well from this one right here. Yeah, I cannot wait to get my hands on my Limited 71 Extreme, that beautiful black bottle. So yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed the top 5. Let me know in the comments section right below. Let me know what your top 5 winter fragrances that you'll be wearing this season. Other than that, if I don't get to see you before, as I said, I'm very busy at the moment, so it's very hectic. So I'm trying to get as many videos as I've done. Otherwise, have a fantastic Christmas. I will speak to you very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and stay smelling fantastic. And Happy New Year and season's greetings to you and all your families.